Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Dave, you've done it again, brother. In fact, I think you've outdone yourself. Who'd you bring along today?
Oh, she's an industry veteran. She's Linda Glenn from the Woodlands, Century 21 great. Linda Glenn.
Hi.
Welcome, Linda. Super
Hi.
excited to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. No, it's an honor. You know, we see what you're doing out there in the Woodlands, and you do some other really great stuff behind the scenes too. So,
Well, thank you.
You're just a special kind of awesome, and you're the kind of person we like to bring onto the show because, you know, when we see cool people out there doing great things, it's inspiring.
Thanks.
And, so thank you for being you. So I heard the Woodlands. Are you from the Woodlands, Houston area?
Oh, I've been there over 30 years. Lake Conroe, the Woodlands.
So you were born there?
No, I was born in way a ways, but I grew up in East Texas.
Yeah.
Lufkin.
Very cool. Very cool. So Lufkin, Texas, and you just said, I love real estate and I want to jump right into this business.
I do. I started back in the 80s.
Okay.
And I had 3 children and decided I needed to get what I call a real job.
Yeah.
I needed some retirement and everything, so I went and done that and retired and went back into it and went back to Century 21 17 years ago.
That's awesome.
It's all about the brand.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. So
Love the
those of you that
brand.
are on the camera or not watching the camera, she's rocking her Century 21 shirt. Dave and I have
my dress
our
code. I don't have to worry about it
well,
every
we
day.
have our team gear on too. So
It makes it easy when you get up to get dressed every morning.
It does, it does. And
just
it lets
put you
people
on a pair
know
of
who you
high
are,
heels
right?
and you're ready to go.
well, they know who you are,
They
right?
do. They do. They trust you.
Strikes up a conversation. You know,
does.
oh, do you work for Century 21?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I bet I do. Oh, I just like their shirts.
I just love them. They're the
Yes,
coolest,
yes.
right? Yeah. No, that's awesome. So definitely representing Century 21 for a long time.
Yes.
What is it about Century 21 that just, that stole your heart?
Well, beginning it was the brand.
Yeah.
And then the brokerage just went into more of relocation.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest thing is I'm a 4-star Navy Federal Blue agent.
Okay.
So it's my veterans, and Century 21 has
That's
a contract that we get those leads in,
Yeah.
and I get to help.
I love
and
that.
we have a lot of retirement coming in. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually their last stop because we're out by the lake.
Yeah.
And then I also do the relocation for Exxon.
Okay.
Got a big moves on those. So it's all about what my brand and my company, it's Realty
I love that.
Partners, that has to offer. It's our
Yeah.
broker that gets that business for us. Then I have repeat. Like, for instance, last year, 29 sales, listings and buys.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those, 22 were my repeat clients or referrals.
Yeah.
And you get it because of that. A couple of them were call-ins going, I just needed a Century 21 agent.
Right.
They trust that brand, and
They
that's
do.
what we have to have is trust in this
Yeah.
business.
Well, and you mentioned, going back to the 80s, and, Century 21 definitely has roots back then, right?
They do. I actually have a black jacket with gold on the inside.
I believe that.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Strange how those logos kind of adapt over time, right? You
They
gotta
do.
rebrand
They do.
and change to the
Yes,
modern.
we've been
crowd,
through
right?
quite a few rebrands,
Yeah.
but it's everybody knows it. It's
100%,
you know,
yeah.
They know it. They go back because most of the millennials now are asking their parents, "Who do you buy from?"
Yeah.
Where I'm going to go buy a house, and they're like, "Go to Century 21," because
Yeah.
that's what they did.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids, I would say, listen to their parents, or some, maybe.
I don't know about that.
I know.
I don't know about that.
Well,
No,
I have 2
they
children
do.
that are realtors with Century 21 also,
there you
so
go.
they did listen.
That's pretty cool. So it's a family business now.
Sorta.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Meaning that they're in the family and in the business.
Absolutely, absolutely. They help me because they're in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
So they help me with all those buzzwords that I
math
have no
does not
clue.
work out.
Well, it does.
I don't get it at all.
It does. But they know all those buzzwords that people
Yeah.
in my age does not know. And so when I need something, they'll be like, "Oh no, put this in your listing because that's what everybody's Googling now."
Right.
So-
By
Yeah.
the way, it does matter because
It makes a
that's
big
what you said. It is what everybody's
Well,
Googling.
and
How do
she
you-
mentioned something in the green room, Dave. She was talking about ChatGPT.
Yes. Because I didn't know how to do it, and my daughter that is a realtor goes, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And my husband started his own business, and I'm like, here, I'm going to go to this class, and you can figure out what you need to promote. So, yeah, you just, with Chat GPT, I believe you got to tweak it, or because I'll look at a message going, oh, that was Chat GPT.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
right.
have to tweak it, and I just need some of those buzzwords. That's what I'm needing.
Yeah. Well, and I think once you get to kind of know it, you're able to transform it into what you want it to say.
Exactly.
By phrasing it in a way or asking it to say it in the right questions, right? Like,
Yes.
hey, I want it to be in the voice of this, that could speak to these people.
Yes.
That sounds like me, right?
Yes, yeah, and everybody knows what a country hick I am. So if I put that out there, they'd be like, "Oh, that's not."
Give it a
Linda.
little country twang.
Yeah, gotta give it that twang. Because
By the way, that countryness is why they gravitate towards you.
That's it. That's where those
100%.
22 repeats came from, huh, Dave?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny you talk about this, Linda. I'm reading a book by Jeb Blount called Sales EQ. So one of the things this talks about is sales intelligence and so forth. We have all this technology coming out. Technology for this, ChatGPT for this, sales funnel for this. You know what the future is? There's going to be the salespeople that tell the AI what to do, and then there's going to be the salespeople that AI tells what to do.
Yeah.
You want to be the salespeople that tells AI what to do.
That's right.
Right.
So at the end of the day, people, we're surrounded by technology, but you know what they
We
want?
are.
Relationships.
They do.
want the human interaction. This is
do.
the largest purchase of their life. They don't want to be sold by chat. I mean, they come for chat BTP. You
Yeah,
cut their
it might get you to the appointment.
but they want you.
they want me.
They want you. They want that. We joke about your country, everything, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of your.
They want the realness of
Yeah.
it.
It's they say all the time the number one place when people are viewing you, whether it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever, the about page. Do you know why they go to the about page? Because they want to know who you are.
That's
Hey,
it.
is she
Exactly.
married? Does she has family? How can I correlate? Number one thing. So that's that's you talking about this. That's great. That's what people need to know.
They do. They do.
Everybody wants to emulate someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the books I read, you know what they say?
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Oh, you gotta be
whatever
yourself.
weirdness or uniqueness that you
okay.
offer. That's what's going to sell you.
That's
I
right.
can't help a client that doesn't relate to me. And that's what I've found out, that there is times you have to pass up clients
I love
because
it.
you're just not connected. And that is what I tell them. Look, I know you're interviewing someone else.
Yeah.
It's got to be who you want to be with, because we're tight for a couple of
Yeah.
months.
Well, you know what we call-
I'm going to know all your business, and I'm fixing to dig in deep. So you're going to have to trust me.
You know what we call it? We call it like-hearted, like-minded.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
We want to do business with people that are like-hearted and like-minded.
Right.
And people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
Right? So at the end of the day, but I think you said something great there, and it goes back to the like-hearted, like-minded. What David and I found, and I think you found this too, we also want to be like-minded, like-hearted with the people we're working with, because we want to enjoy that process too.
Exactly.
We've gotten far enough in our careers now where we're not just going to take anything that comes through
Nope.
the door, right?
Right.
We have to be selective because we're going to work with these people, and we
Well,
want
you're
them to
not
be
doing them a
long-lasting.
good job.
That's it.
I
That's
tell
it.
my people, because we are actually in the MLS system with San Antonio. And I'm like, because they just merged. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know San Antonio.
Yeah.
I would not do you a justice. People, I'm from Lufkin, well, my friends will call me, and I'm like, I've got good connections there. I'm not going to do you any justice because
Right.
I don't have access to your systems, and I don't have that. So you have to pick and choose, and you have to pick and choose for the right reasons, and I do it for them. I do it for my buyers.
Well, I think that was, viewers, if you're out there listening right now, hear what she said there. Your integrity says, I'm not going to represent somebody in a market that I don't know.
Exactly.
This is the kind of agent you need to represent you, right? This
Thank
is the
you.
kind of agent you need to represent you. Somebody
all
who's
about
not there
them.
for the money.
Yeah.
Somebody that's there because they want to guide people into the proper home, and they're going to do it with the experience and expertise that they bring to the table. And at the end of the day, the money's going to come.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
But it's only going to come because you're doing a great job in
They're going
taking
to
care
refer
of people.
somebody to me that they know. I don't care if it's $100,000 or $1 million home. The money isn't the issue. That's a lot of money for whomever it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even if it's a $100,000 home, that's their $1 million home.
It is.
So I have to make sure that they're happy. And all I tell them all the time is, I'm going to see you again. And they refer other people. So if it's out of Lufkin, I've gotten referrals. Actually, I have one coming tomorrow at 4 o'clock. To see a house on Lake Conroe
That's
from
great.
Lufkin, because they know that I have friends there and that I'll take care of them.
They know, like, and trust you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they should, because you're genuine. And, that's one thing I got to know you real quick in the green room. Dave already knew you, but, this was new for me. And I felt like I was hanging out with somebody I've known for 20 years.
Perfect. That's the way it's supposed to be.
And by the way, that's why you're great at what you do.
Thank you.
Right? Because
you.
when people can walk in and they can trust you because you're an open book, right?
Right.
You're going to tell them who you are.
Transparency is it.
Exactly. And, that's how the right people are aligning with you because they go, man, I like Linda. She is so honest. And at the end of the day, I trust her.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually have a little story. I lost a listing appointment one time because he said I didn't talk about myself enough.
Really?
And I'm like, but I don't. I want to show you what I can do for you, but I don't need to tell you that I'm a Diamond Award winner with Century 21.
Right.
Quality Service Pinnacle Award winner. I don't need to tell you all that because I just don't brag about myself. So now I have learned to take all my little satisfied reviews, put them in there, and put them in my folder and say at nighttime, y'all read these when you have time. Because when I first started with Century 21 and I was not an award winner, I had babies that we adopted. And so I didn't work during the summer because I needed to stay home with them.
Right.
So I went to an award ceremony and all these people were getting these awards and one of them was the Quality Service Award. And I'm like, if I can't sell a house, I can be nice to somebody.
Yeah.
And so from that year on, I'm like, I will be up there next year. And I was. And I've been a Pinnacle Award winner for now 15 years. I make sure that I know what I'm doing.
There's no question about that. And I got to bring that back a little bit because you mentioned you adopted some kids. And we did talk about that a little bit in the green room. Mm-hmm. You adopted some special kids.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Explore that just a little bit, right?
Yes, these were our grandchildren that were in need. And they are now 17 and 18. I've got one that graduates in 6 weeks.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's not wanting to go. One is autistic, and he is writing every movie producer in town. So anybody that needs a movie producer, I got one. Super sweet. They're just great boys. And our life changed, took us in a different direction.
That's right.
But it probably made me settle down, and because I was a free bird, my son had went off to the Marines, and we had no children at home, and we were happy, and
off riding Harleys.
Off riding Harleys, and then we got these babies, and it was like, oh yeah, maybe I need to maybe this is what God told me to do.
It was your plan.
It was my plan.
But you've done a beautiful thing. You've taken these kids in and shown them a beautiful life. We were talking a little bit about that, right?
Yeah.
And they're grateful for it.
Good kids.
And you're just an awesome person. So, that's why they're great kids.
But they're so funny. They'll walk through the house. Is that so-and-so again? They know every client. And when they were little, I've probably taken them on 3 appointments with me. And one of the appointments was a USAA client.
Yeah.
And the second time out, I said, well, I got to bring my boys with me today. And
Yeah.
she said, that's fine. She peeks in the back and she sees them sitting in the back. And she goes, these little eyes just looking at me. To this day, the autistic one still goes to church with hers.
Oh, man.
15 years. She picks him up every Sunday at my house.
That's
Oh,
so
wow.
special.
And they are part of our family. She's had 1 kid. She has 3 now. I've sold them 3 or 4 houses. So yeah, you just make those
Connections.
bonding connection relationships with people that last.
No, Linda, not everybody does that.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to share that with
Well,
you.
that's what we're in the business for.
We are in the business for
We
that,
are.
but some people look at this as a transaction, which I
Oh,
think
it's not.
it's not a transaction.
No, it's not.
Because if you look at it at the bigger picture, it's like you said earlier, whether it's $100,000 house or $1 million house,
Doesn't matter.
it's the largest person. It's the largest purchase of that person's life.
That
That's right.
person. Everybody's
so
different.
it's not a piece of furniture or
No.
a chair. It's
No.
the largest purchase. So
It's home.
because you
That's it.
care so much.
Home. That's exactly what I tell them when you walk in. You'll know because we'll look and look and look. And I'm like, these aren't your houses. When you walk in and go, this is home.
Yeah.
That's your house.
Did you
Then
feel that,
you
Dave?
know.
I just felt a connection right there.
You just know
Yeah,
it's their home.
you do.
They know
You
because
do.
they're already. I've showed people houses and they're like moving their furniture around. They're like, but we don't like that. Then let's go. Let's not rearrange our furniture in here because this isn't your home. We will find that home.
I think we need to capture this tagline home and put a whole marketing campaign behind it.
Yeah.
You do.
When it's home, and then
When it's home, you'll know it.
When it's home, you know it. You know what?
know it's home.
What's Scott always say? what's meant for you will be yours. What's not meant
it.
for you, you can't. You
cannot force it.
You can't force it. So you can't, and you can't run away from what's meant to be yours.
No,
so.
you can't. That's exactly right. Home is home. And they know it. They just feel it. They're just like,
Well, you
this
see
is
in their
it.
eyes as
Yeah,
soon as they
you
walk
do.
in. The moment I remember
They
my
could
house.
check every box.
Every house
Right.
every house I bought, I knew when I opened the door. Like
Yeah.
when I opened the door, it wasn't even walking
There's
in.
no question.
No.
Moment I opened the door,
Yep.
I'm like,
And it
this is
usually
it.
smells good.
I don't know. whatever your secret is, I knew from the moment I opened the
You
door.
do.
Just walking in. It wasn't even like
did.
5 seconds into it.
There's
Yeah.
homes that just aren't. Everybody has their own thing.
That's right.
And there's homes that just don't make you feel comfortable, and
Yeah, whatever.
and especially when I'm listing a house and staging a house, it's like you got to get rid of the bullhead, you got to get rid of the boar head, you have got to move this cat bowl. People don't want to know what's right here. So there's ways to make it, and that's a lot to do with the agents of how homey they make that listing.
Yeah.
And then how well it flows. There's a lot of different ways, but it's just that home, it, and especially if you've been working with your clients long enough, I ask my clients, please send me. I know you've been out there looking. Send it to me so I can get what feel you're looking for, because I don't want to waste your time when you get here.
Yeah.
Right.
To look for those houses. Why look at something that has nothing to do with what you've sent me?
Yeah.
So
I got to ask you a question, because you mentioned something. We've heard this from other agents in the past. What's the strangest thing you had to ask somebody to remove from their house?
Probably those boar heads that's looking down, or the animals that's like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably about that, or I walked in and opened a door and there was a turtle walking out. A huge turtle out of the bedroom.
We're not talking about a box turtle,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
This is a turtle. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I just sold a house to a client, and they have potbelly pigs. Not two that they brought from Canada. They brought two. They got three more since they've got here. These things are 250, 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and they're just walking.
Hey guys, it's Devin.
And David.
We're your real estate success partners. Hey, if you're enjoying these podcasts and want us to keep bringing back this content, we truly appreciate you following us. But if you could go below and subscribe or make some comments, we'd truly appreciate it. And we'll keep bringing back great content in 2024.
Okay.
That's
This
big.
is going to be a challenge.
Those are big.
Yeah.
They're internet famous, so they're good.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
tell them we're going to see the internet famous pigs, So
See, well, you put a spin on that, and everybody wants to go meet them.
they want to go meet them. Absolutely. You got
Well
to figure out how
played,
to
Linda.
spin it.
Well played. I
Trying to
love
figure
that.
out how to
I love
spin
that.
it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
that's-
that's probably about the strangest.
Yeah.
I did have a friend of mine sent me a picture the other day, and they had made up the bed like somebody was in it. She said I had to go and touch it. And I'm
Oh,
like,
weird.
God, I wasn't in that one. So yeah. Oh wait, I did have a listing not too long ago that had two commodes in the bathroom. Like,
Oh, his and
by
hers.
side?
one in here. Nope, it had a little pony wall, and there was the other one, and I'm like, oh, this is real friendly.
So you can
here.
hold hands under the table.
So I had to spend that one with let me get a bid from the contractor. We can put a door here so we can make this a half bath and it's a real bath. So yeah, I had to spend that one really well.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I had to ask because we don't ask this stuff on all of them, and we've had a couple people have some pretty funny stories. You've got
bet
some
they
good
have.
I think this is the stuff people really want to hear, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the real behind the scenes.
real behind the
of being a
scenes,
realtor.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we don't get to have those fun experiences because typically for us, we're meeting them in the office or over the phone, right?
Oh yeah, but just wait, because I like to send stuff to my Linda, so you'll get to see pictures of
Yeah,
it too.
I love it.
Wait.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, and that goes back to, your character that you bring to the table. You're finding a way to pivot and sell something that others might find difficult, right?
And
Putting a
that's their
positive
home.
spin on it. Yeah.
And they love it.
You're also encouraging people, to buy the one that speaks to them. And that's special, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you're also talking about, from the listing angle of things, right? The fact that you're really, you're getting to know the house and the way that you're going to promote this thing. And, this is the type of things that an expert agent does, right? This is what an expert agent does. So when you're out there questioning, well, who do I trust? How do I pick the right person? Is a buyer's agent worth it? There's no question about it, right? There's no question about it because, all the behind the scenes stuff that you're doing, to help direct traffic, to make sure that they're qualified, to make sure you're leading them to the right property. The amount of, what's the average amount of homes that you have to show somebody
Oh, I
before
have showed literally one person 350 homes. I had 3 folders for it, and my reload
Yeah.
director, when I finally had to move on, she's like, we were waiting on you. And I'm like, but I don't give up. I
Yeah.
had one client for 4 years.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
4 years. But when you find that home, you find it. And I ticked off every box. He had to have a pond, a shop, a
Yeah.
pool. He had to have all of these things, and it took us 4 years to have it combined. So, and the appraiser called me and said it's never going to appraise.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, it does, because that shop's worth this barn's worth this pond's worth this. Oh, yeah, it is going to appraise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the appraisers will look at stuff before they come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my ducks in a row, and I do other things for the appraisers to make them know what is in this house.
There's some value right
So
there, no
I try
question.
to
That's
help
huge.
them as far as, they don't know.
Well, let's put it out there, right? And 350 is not the average. What's the average? What would you say the average amount of homes is?
Of selling?
Yeah,
Of showing?
when you got a show, yeah.
Sometimes it can be one, I would say average 20, 25.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because with technology, a lot of people know before they go what they're looking for.
Yes.
They've the days of just looking at pictures.
Yeah.
In today's technology, where you do a virtual tour before you
Yes.
even go in and do all that
Yes.
stuff, you can eliminate a lot of that stuff. I would
You
imagine.
can, you do, and it's not trying to just show them homes, it's trying to show them the right home.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that makes a big difference, so you're not out just pounding the pavement.
Well-
So I would say 2 or 3 weekends, and,
Yeah.
you can look at 10 houses a day. I try to limit it because they get so confused.
Right.
On where we're at the end of the day. So my last house, I just lay it all out. This
But-
one's a no, this one's a no,
Yeah.
and, so
Well,
'cause
and
I
let's-
write notes, and I make them a folder.
It's
They got
actually
notes.
detrimental. The more houses they see is actually in their brain confuses them.
It does.
And a confused person will never buy because
Yes.
a confused person doesn't buy. So
Correct.
It's actually
They get overwhelmed and they don't
it's
want to buy.
overwhelming.
They're just like, I'll stay right
It's
where
the
I'm
basics
at.
of sales.
But here's what I want to talk about. A lot of people, yeah, sure, we're narrowing things down by the pictures that we see,
Mm-hmm.
but the pictures show us what the listing agent and the seller want us to see.
Correct.
They don't show us the things that we don't want
I
to see.
hear that all the time.
And so you can't always just judge a book by its cover,
Right.
and that's where having a great buyer's agent, for representation
You
is
go
important.
preview them before you go
There we go.
show your
Yeah,
client.
that's right. So let's talk about it. You're going to preview it before you go show your clients, so you know the ins and outs and what they should expect when they get out there. In addition to that, you're going to take them out there, right? So
Yes.
you're making multiple trips, minimum 20, typically not minimum, but the average is 20, right? And you're talking about probably 2 days worth of looking at houses. Last time I looked, 8 hours in business day. Most of us get paid for those 8 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So you're getting paid to show those houses, even if they don't buy from you, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but you're not. You're not, right? If you're showing houses and they don't buy from you, did you get a check?
I did not, but my thing is that's good practice.
It is. It's
That
great
is-
practice.
that's good practice
It's great
for me, and
practice.
that's
But
the way I
show
look
me
at it.
somebody out there that's willing to go out for 8 hours a day and go from house to house to house to house to house, right, as their job and not take a paycheck.
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna do that.
Nobody's going to do that.
Nobody's
But
gonna do that.
That's where you
Right.
have to show your worth and show them that you're
Well,
dedicated.
and that's one of the things I'm trying to
nobody's gonna do
demonstrate
it.
here, right? Because there is a big subject out there right now.
Yeah.
We won't go too far into it, but at the
Right.
end of the day, because you can't necessarily take an opposing side, right? You've got to
Right.
be in the middle, right? Everybody likes
Absolutely.
to kind of say, but we're going to mix it up a little bit. At the end of the day, we know the value that's
Yes.
brought, and we know the worth that's there. But ultimately, sometimes people aren't thinking about the behind the scenes stuff,
Right.
and that's where they go, oh, but I just picked the house on a website and I go buy that, and that's the house I buy.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
They don't
It doesn't
have
work
the
that way.
sleepless nights. And that's what I tell my clients, let
Yeah.
me take the stress from you.
Yeah.
And so I have learning to tell them more of what I stayed up all night working on
Yeah.
with the title company. I'm learning. I had one that had a drill rig on it, and I had to go back to the 1900s off the title company to
Yeah,
see who
yeah.
and it had never
Clear that
been-
title off.
Never been drilled on, but I had to do that I had to know, I had to make sure for
Yeah.
him. It was a big purchase. So there's a lot of things we do behind the scenes that clients don't know about. But people, I had 2 buyers last week. One was like, what do I have to pay you to get in your car? And I'm like, nothing. This is how it works.
It's not an Uber.
He was like, well, after I explained the buyer's rep to him, he goes, well, that's only fair. You're working for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. And he goes, well, what do I pay you if I don't find a house? And I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
We had a good run. We're good.
But you're going to find my house.
Oh, we're already in it. Yeah, we're good.
I already know. I already know.
Yeah, we'll find him the right house. It's got to find the right
Exactly.
house, and that's it. And sometimes I tell people, and I would tell people during COVID, my younger buyers, can we wait?
Yeah.
Can we just wait? And I had a little Navy Federal client that got pre-approved, and So finally I had to ask him one day, how did we get pre-approved? You're with me every day, you, your wife, and the 2 babies. He's like, well, I'm on unemployment, back from the service, and he had got a job and got laid off. And I'm like, you can't get a house on unemployment?
No.
Let's call them right now.
Yeah.
And we sat there and he's like, you just saved me my option fee,
Yeah.
my
Yep.
inspection fee.
Yeah.
And so I wrote on the fall, not giving up.
Yeah.
And he got him a little job and he was able, I said, I don't care what you do. I know you're going to go to school for the military, but
Yep.
lenders don't like that.
No,
That's
you
not
gotta show 2 years.
Gotta have
Well,
it.
let's talk about this too, because not all realtors are built the same, but not all loan officers are built the same. So at the end of the day, you've got to make sure that the qualification you have is worth the paper it's written on.
Absolutely.
And that's not the case a lot of the times. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who'll take a quick application and go, "You're pre-approved," and just hand it over to,
Yes.
and now the agent's being falsely led.
And that's why I
but
like
that's
David,
where
because he goes all the way through it. Yes.
But that's where, we do consultations. We have a
Yes.
team behind it that's working up all the paperwork. I mean, we've got a very good process for that, right? But at the end of the day, it also takes a great agent to look at that. And I'm going to curse for the first time maybe on here ever and say, I call bullshit.
Yeah.
This isn't real. You
Yes.
just told me what I know doesn't work.
Right.
Let's call that guy up right now. Let's
We
get
did,
to the bottom
and
of this
they
thing.
were very
Yeah.
thankful, and I got them in a brand new home.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, it took us a year.
Did he use
Had to
that
get-
loan officer?
Huh? Oh, no.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No, he didn't.
Great agents have great loan officers, right?
They do.
Great agents have great loan officers. So you're not just paying for the service of everything else that they're doing. You're paying for the service of the knowledge of the market,
And it's
but the
got to
knowledge
be a
of
relationship between the
That's
agent
right.
and that loan officer
it.
of who to put that client with.
Yes.
If I have a little, client that's antsy and stuff, and I need somebody that's right down the street,
Yeah.
and we can sit down and talk, that's fine. But a lot of, there's just different personalities.
There
So
are, 100%.
I just like I want them to come to me because of my personality,
Yep.
I want them to love their lender.
you have to love both sides of the transaction.
You do.
It's got to be a great
Even
experience.
title. We're looking
Yeah.
at title too. They're in the
All
same,
of us.
going to be in the same situation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
They're going to go to attorney and sign off on it and never know if they own their house or not.
Yeah, or
So-
inspectors, right? I'm sure you know some inspectors
yes,
out there, right?
I do,
and that you trust.
My word to my
Yeah.
inspector, and this is what I tell my buyers: tell them to run. Tell them to run, because I don't want to see them in
Yeah.
Kroger's next week going, "Do you know my roof just fell in?" And your inspector,
Yeah.
or the inspector you referred to me.
Wait, the pictures on the internet didn't
Yeah.
tell them about that?
Yeah, exactly. So, but then I follow my inspectors. I go to every inspection.
Yeah.
I'm up in the attic. I know what the purlins are. I know what it is. I can tell you what that part is that's going to be to fix that. And my clients are like,
You probably got a
"Okay,
wrench up there and a hammer, and you're taking care of the problems yourself.
I can do it." Well, you have to be able to guide them because sometimes things scare them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, this scares me, but this does not.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to guide them. So you have to have the right people, and we call it our team.
Yeah.
So we're starting a new thing now that
team,
goes
huh?
out with our listing agreements, and this is my team. Or when I meet a buyer, this is my team. Here's my lender. Here's a couple of title companies. This is our team. We're
That's
a
right.
team. We all work together. If
Well, it's an experience.
it is an experience.
It's an experience, and you know that you're going to be well led when you're working with Linda, and that's what it's about, right? It's knowing that you're going to be well led, and that doesn't matter which part of the process we're talking about because
Right.
she's already thought about all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's thought about the strategic
Somebody told me
partners.
the other day I'm 10 steps ahead of them. I'm like, I'll try.
But that's what it should be, right?
Yeah.
That's what it should be. I tell people all the time, I play chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're thinking about this, and I'm already 10 moves in
I'm
front
already
of that.
calling the lender going, but I know how they make a side gig money. And they're like, we don't need to know that one. But in my brain, because I'm not going to get to closing,
Yeah.
because I had one girl that ran an online gambling thing,
Right.
through Facebook. And I know she made a lot of money. And my lender's like, that's okay. I'm going by the husband's income. And I'm like, okay, but when you see all that money come through this bank account,
La, la, la,
I'm
la, la, la,
thinking,
la.
Yeah, I think about those things. Those are important to
Yeah,
be ahead of it
it
because
is.
you can get to closing that day and it can fall out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
That's
glad
just
you-
smart.
I don't.
That's just smart right
I'm glad
there.
you brought that up because you know what? The generation today,
Yeah.
they don't work one job.
They do
guys.
not work.
You're
the,
right about
the,
that,
The
Dave.
amount of stuff that I vet out now when it comes to income,
Yeah.
I got these millennials and G. They have 4 or 5 jobs making 100-something thousand, and it's
You gotta piece it
they make
together.
The 2,000 here online, 2,000 here on garage sale thing.
Yes.
But it's their generation.
account.
It's
It is their
it's
account.
just it's just the way they
And
do
how many
things.
do we have out? 50 million, 100 million millennials going to buy.
Oh,
That's it.
they say
It's just
that-
crazy.
Hang on a second. Let's talk about this. They say in the next 24 months, there's 50 or 70 million millennials.
That's it.
That are a prime age to buy. Well, guess
Well, we've
what?
got 50 million houses, right?
No, not even close. We don't even have a million, Devin.
We are
don't.
so
We
low
don't.
in inventory
And not
right now.
Texas, the country. There's
Yeah.
not a million homes on the market in
Well,
the
think
country.
about that. Think about the flood of buyers out there. Let's talk,
Yeah.
I know we started bringing it up a little bit, but we're sitting here March 29th, 2024. The big topic is NAR. The
Good
lawsuit.
Friday.
Good Friday.
And Good
I'd
Friday.
rather talk
It's a
about
great
Good
Friday because we got Linda here.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
No, what's everybody doing, Linda? The veterans like you are calm and collected. It's the newer agents I see that are just
We're trying to show our worth.
Yeah.
We show our worth and explain. The biggest thing is explain.
Right.
Explain that buyer's rep. Texas was very well protected in
Yeah.
this. We've already had a buyer's rep. And the
Right.
only two things with the NAR settlement is you can't put the MLS,
Right.
the commission on the
Right.
MLS, and you have to have a buyer's rep. It's the law now.
Yeah.
Or will be when it's signed in. We've always done that. We've always had a buyer's rep agreement. You
Yeah.
think I'm crazy and I'm going to go out and show 50 houses to somebody that's not going to have a buyer's rep? And we're
That's right.
explaining it. We just have to do more of an intense of explaining now.
Yeah.
And tell them, this is your choice. So when I tell you that that seller doesn't want to pay, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Here you go up front.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I have some friends that are moving to Arkansas. They have a $750,000 house. First thing she said to me was, "I'm putting my house on the market just in time. I no longer have to pay the buyer's rep." I go, "Why don't
Well, I
you
hope
I
she
go,
brings some
I go, I want you to talk to your agent."
Yeah.
I go, because I'm a lender. I told her my viewpoint. She talked to the agent because they're putting another house on the market in like 2 weeks, and she goes, "I'm going to pay them 3%."
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. You
want somebody in your house that's not vetted?
Yeah. Vetted is one of the biggest parts of that, right?
Yes.
Because you want to make sure that you're just not accepting offers from somebody that's truly not qualified, right?
Absolutely, and that's not
that's
that
really
seller's
important.
agent to do that.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
their. We do that, but
yeah.
yeah. And
but there's-
can you imagine the work the seller's agents are going to have
Right.
to go through, opening the doors for all of these houses?
Yeah.
It's not going to work. People have to be protected.
Well, there's another piece that I think a lot of people forget about, and that's marketing, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so, you talk about this. We brought it up before, but I'll bring it up again, right? Do you know who Apple is?
Oh.
Yeah. Do you know who McDonald's is?
Yeah.
Do you see advertisements every day? Yeah. They're still spending billions of dollars a year on advertisement. Why is that? Because ultimately, that's what's going to lead more people to their product.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, if you're a seller and you're putting your house on the market, right? Unless you just happen to be in a neighborhood where everybody wants to be, and that
Right.
does happen. Those
It does.
neighborhoods exist, right? You want to make sure that you've got good qualified people that are going to come see it through and see that property. And the last time I looked at it, if you've got thousands of agents out there that are all marketing your home for you,
Yes.
it's absolutely worth
It is worth it.
It's
and you're
absolutely worth
so
it.
well protected. That is the biggest thing. You're
That's right.
protected. That seller's agent cannot tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
And who's going to refer the lenders out?
Well, it's
You
it's the
know?
education. Because
It's
again,
education.
my friends, they're very well educated. They just don't know. But you know what? The media doesn't allow. They
Oh,
just
well.
They didn't, but they're coming out.
Yeah.
I know our HAR has come out with something this morning that they're going to start showing our worth.
Right.
93Q, a radio station yesterday, I was on the way to a listing appointment last night, and it was like, oh my God, it's a good commercial. I could sleep tonight.
So, but here's the deal. You talk about that, and that's great that they're doing that, and it needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we've got a lot of people out there consuming media from unqualified people.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have the folks that follow TikTok or follow Reddit or
Dude,
follow
I don't need
IG
those
or
clients,
Facebook.
though. That's the
Right.
thing.
And I get
need-
that.
I don't
get that.
need those. I need they need to get educated.
And you're right on the money about that, right? But at the end of the day, it still creates a buzz out there, and people are listening to unqualified people, and that's a problem. When you're trying to get educated on something like a home or a purchase, refinance, any type of transaction like that, you've got to be talking to people that are qualified to have those answers, right? And at the end of the day, you need to make sure that that person truly knows what they're talking about. And that's not what's happening out there these
Right.
days. Everybody with a phone is now a media source.
Oh,
yeah.
Everybody with a phone is now a media source,
and they're
right?
realtors too. You know
Yeah,
that.
that too. that too.
My biggest thing with my office, Century 21, is we are not dual agency and we do not do intermediary unless my broker
Yeah.
assigns that. That is not me. So intermediary is where it comes from the same company. We're even picky about that. She is the best on making sure that that buyer or seller is represented 100%.
That's right.
So I've been trained that way for 17 years. This isn't new for me.
No.
Things might change a little bit, but we've went through COVID. We've went through 2008. We've went through all of this. My guy at the office yesterday, our attorney, did a timeline. Look at this. Look at this. Look, we've all had these. The media didn't know about it,
Right.
but we smoothed on through. We don't need their assistance right now, but we're getting it.
Yeah, which is
But I
great,
could
which is
bet
great.
you one of those would not go buy a house without representation. And they need to interview a news person to ask them that.
Right.
They're interviewing agents that just come on the market. Oh, yeah, I'll take $1,000 to write a contract.
No.
That's all you're going to do. You can't step over that line then. We're not a la carte agents.
Right.
We were trained to be agents.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well,
Linda, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Dave, but I know we can't. She's busy. She's got people to save, right?
Date night tonight.
Yeah, date night tonight. I know we know all about that, but we would love to keep you here all day because you're awesome. But what did we not cover today?
I think we went all through it. What do you think, David?
man, this was one of the best podcasts we've done. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that it was very educational, and you're great.
Well, she's an expert.
It's all about finding your home.
That's
That's
right.
all I can say.
Well, that's
all
actually one of our
about
taglines.
Yeah.
Home begins here.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
home
it.
begins
And
here.
with Century 21.
Yes.
Let's
Absolutely.
And if you're not using Century 21, at least check out your agent. That is all I can say is, I want everyone to be happy, and I want you to check out that. That's your agents.
Well,
Make sure
definitely,
you get
we
good
got to talk about it. If you want to be well represented, and you're in the Woodlands, Houston,
Lake Conroe.
Lake Conroe, any of the surrounding areas, not
I'll
San
let you
Antonio,
go to Galveston.
not San Antonio,
But
not
I-
Lufkin.
But I can do Galveston. But I can find you a good agent.
can, 100%.
Call me. I don't care if you're in Chicago.
Yeah.
I just sent a lady a referral out to West Virginia.
Yeah, who you're a
I
connector.
need her to have a good agent, and I call them. I talk to them, and make sure they're a good match. Call me. I'm going to find you. I'm going to be there, and that way I can still have my little fingers into
Yeah,
it.
true professional.
That's it. I want to keep tabs on what's going on.
I love it. Well, when the people out there want to find you,
Okay.
how do they get a hold of Linda?
My cell number, Linda Glenn, Century 21 Realty Partners, 832-928-4103. Or you can find me on my Facebook at Linda Glenn, Century 21.
There it is, guys. And that information is going to be on the description. So if you're scrambling to find a pen, don't worry. Just look at the podcast description. It's going to be there. And if you're watching this on YouTube or any of the social channels, just look down on the video and you're going to see it run right across there on the screen. Dave, I know you wanted to ask her something. I saw you. So anything else you want to ask?
No,
Linda
no,
before
I'm
we-
good. I'm good. I love talking to Linda. We talk,
Yeah.
at least once a week, and
Absolutely.
she's just so bubbly. It's just, here, if I'm looking for a house, I'm calling Linda.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you're just gonna have a great time. She's gonna tell you the truth. She's gonna
Tell you the truth, no
And-
question
and-
about that.
and
And
the prof-
that's a rare commodity, folks.
and then the professionalism behind it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate y'all inviting me down today.
Oh, we're so glad
fun.
and we're glad you came up here, right?
Yeah.
For you guys, we were shooting out of Dallas. She came all the way up here to see us, so I feel honored.
Feel like you got to know the people. You
Yeah.
got to meet them. You got to
Absolutely.
know them in person.
Yeah,
So, because Dave and I are going to do
She's
some work
vetting
together.
us out, guys. She's vetting us out,
Absolutely.
and I think,
Absolutely.
look, guys, that's who she is, right?
Yes.
And when you're looking to align yourself with somebody who cares,
How can I send clients if
That's
I
right.
don't know who they are?
That's exactly
I
right.
wanted to be here and meet them personally.
Well, you've met us now, and I
Yes.
hope we pass
And I
the
do
test.
have one he got pre-approved for me last week. It was that was that easy. So
That's right.
But I wanted to come and see because I need to tell that client.
Yeah.
I know him. That's my buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
we've
you.
got a good business relationship going on.
I love that. Well, thank you for being
I appreciate
you,
it.
Linda.
Thank
No,
you.
we appreciate you. We do.
Well, thank you
So,
for inviting me and
yeah.
glad I was here.
Well, we'll have you back another time. We might come down.
Absolutely.
We might come down and see you and
Hey,
see
come
that
on
beautiful
down to
lake,
the
out there.
Oh, yeah, our office sits right on the lake. Come on.
Well, I will be down there
We have
soon.
some good
so-
margaritas down there,
Yeah,
too.
well, I don't drink. Dave does, so yeah.
Yeah, you can come.
I used to. I just don't do it anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't start until after all my kids were grown.
I'm sure they weren't part of that at all.
They were
love
gone.
it.
They were grown. I can do it
I
now.
love it. I love it. Well, guys, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And if you want to check us out, come on over to realestatesuccesspartner.com, or you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, IG at the Dubuc team. And I suggest you do because you're going to want to see this lovely Linda on camera. She's absolutely awesome. Hey, also, make some comments. We really appreciate those. And, make sure you like the channel and subscribe. Until the next time, we will see you then.